Dear students, now we are coming to Ode on Grecian Urn. Before you could study the explanation of this poem, you should read the text. Text is available online, which means on internet the texts are available. You should not be bothered about getting texts, but texts are available. Be sure texts are available. First of all, let me tell you something about the background of the poem. Ode on a Grecian Urn is a poem by English romantic poet John Keats, written in 1819. Published anonymously in Annals of the Fine Arts for 1890. The poem is several of great odes of 1819, which includes other odes as well. This poem, Ode on Grecian Urn, was first published in January 1820. The author of the poem, or the poet, is John Keats. Original language of the poem is English. What is an urn? Let me tell you something about the urn. Urn is a pot in which ashes of a cremated person are stored or kept safe. Let us now come to the explanation of stanza 1. As I have already told you, that if you want text, you should type John Keats on Google, or John Keats poems, romantic poems, on Google, and you will get a list of John Keats poems, and out of that list you may select Ode on a Grecian Urn. Now the explanation of stanza number 1 is: in the poem, time, art, beauty and truth have been discussed. The urn stands quite unruffled, protected, a symbol of beauty and peace, like a bride. The poem is an address in which the poet talks to the urn, or he directly talks to the urn, associating a lot of delicate points to her. He also creates serious connections with art and beauty. The urn stands as a product of silence and slow time because nobody comes to disturb her peace. You are not just an urn. This is what Keats says. You are not just an urn, but there is an aura of rurality around you. You depict so many rural things on your surface, or the rural pictures, or rural life or pastoral life has been portrayed on the surface of the urn, and there is little of modernity around you. This is not a modern poem, but this poem depicts things which may belong to a pagan age, or an age which existed long time ago. On your surface there are images of flowers, trees, and images of mortal human beings and of gods. A surface presents an embroidery of valleys as well. The poet also asks about the whereabouts of men and women that have been drawn on the surface. The poet asks why maidens dislike young men when they pursue them. Instead, they avoid them. Then the poet asks, why are pipes and timbrels being played? Why a hot activity is going on? In this poem, Ode on a Grecian Urn, John Keats asks so many questions. In each line of the poem, we may find one question, that John Keats asks, and then later on it is left to the reader to draw conclusions and to find answers. The answers are there right in the poem. If somebody studies the poem carefully, he will find answers to all these questions. But these are wonderful questions. They are poetic questions, which give us an inkling of so many things that have been discussed in the poem. Explanation of stanza number 2. Then Keats says that the song or music can be enjoyed as a sweet melody, but there are songs and music which one can feel in the heart. Such music has greater significance and of more abiding nature. Then he addresses the pictures of youthful boys and girls and tells them, "You will remain in this condition forever. Nobody can erase them." To the melodists, he says that your songs will never come to an end. The leaves on those branches will remain there forever. Their greenery is for all times. Then Keats addresses lovers who have been printed on the urn and tells them that it's obvious that you cannot enjoy your love and you won't be able to get nearer your beloveds to kiss them. The distance among you will remain the same because your pictures are still, they are stagnant, and you won't be able to enjoy your love. Keats quite logically instructs the lovers that you should not lose heart if you cannot kiss, but in the picture you will remain as making effort to kiss them. The beloved will remain beautiful forever. She will live above time and decay. In art, Keats concludes, or what is understood by the message given in this stanza. In art, things will remain as they have been drawn, though nothing comes to a completion, but there is an effort to complete things, to accomplish the activities that have been mentioned in the stanzas. In stanza number 3, Keats says, through these poetic lines, Keats expresses his sadness by making art pictures immortal. He tells boughs, you will remain laden with leaves and flowers forever, nor spring will end. So you are lucky that no downfall will befall you. Likewise, he says that song and music of the melodist will not die, nor can it become dim. Your music will remain new forever. Then he talks to love, telling that it will never lose its strength. It will remain warm and inviting, and it can be enjoyed forever. As love will never become weak, so young people will always pant for the unrequited love. The passion of love will remain full of energy, even though time passes and old age dominates. Stanza number 4, explanation. In stanza number 4, Keats again raises some questions. As I have already told you that in each stanza, in almost all lines of the stanzas, Keats raises certain questions, and those questions are pertinent ones, but they have to do with poetry, to the things that have been imagined, not the real things. Keats tries to make those things real, but in fact they are not. For example, he asks who these people are coming to offer a sacrifice. He also tells the reader about how the lamb has been decorated with garlands as a token of veneration, and the lamb, before it is presented at the altar, goes to the skies first. Keats says that a lot of people have come out of their houses, wherever they lived, on mountains, by river or sea. All have left their houses and come to join the sacrifice. Keats' purpose here is to show common people's interest in religious activities. Keats concludes that the houses and cities will remain empty forever, as nobody will come back to repopulate these cities and houses. He tells the readers that in artistic images there is always a stagnation of things. They never move as they do in real life. The explanation of stanza number 5, which is the last in this poem. In the last stanza, Keats talks about some facts of art which depicts life. He says that the pictures of men, women and trees have been drawn on the surface of the earth. They are just objects without movements, but not without life in metaphysical sense. But all these pictures strike us out of a restful mind. Instead, they invite us to thinking about them, because they are not mere pictures or objects, but they preserve human history, inviting us to permanent lessons that have to do with eternal results. It's obvious that people of flesh and blood would either die or become slow in their passionate life, but eternal objects of life will remain safe in art, telling a lot to the coming generations about life. These objects of beauty and art tell that beauty and truth are the same. When one searches for beauty, one searches for truth. Keats suggests to the thinking minds that they can get at truth which stands for beauty, or beauty which is truth.